Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. I'm Glazer of the Snap Judgments podcast, and we've got a humongous week coming up for you, our loyal viewers. You can see we're giving away a Spider-Verse season pass. But before we talk about that, I need to tell you what we're going to talk about today. Galactus has finally been broken. We finally have the Galactus deck that actually breaks the meta, that will result in bans. The win rate for this deck in a significant sample is through the roof. In addition, if you are a fan at all of Marvel Snap, then you know of KM Best. We had KM Best on our podcast, the Snap Judgments podcast. Uh, it released last week. You should check it out on either this YouTube or whatever your favorite podcasting platform is. We talked with Cam about how to be the best Marvel Snap player you can be, all the theory that goes behind it, and we used concrete examples in this meta. KM is a super, actually kind guy, and we had a wonderful time talking to him. Thanks for joining us, KM, and please be sure to check that out. We're really proud of the results. All right, with that, we are back to our giveaway. We're actually going to tell you what to do, what you could win, all that stuff. So please follow along with me. This will be linked, of course, in the description to this video. First, you get one of 5 season passes. Yep, we give away 5 season passes, the most of anyone that I know of, for each and every season of Marvel Snap. In addition, we have a grand prize. In addition to winning that Ghost Spider season pass, you can win every single Token Tuesday for the month of June on us. One grand prize winner gets that Token Tuesday. How do you enter? First, you have to be subscribed here on YouTube. You're watching this video, just go click that sub button. It's nice and easy. Next, you have to follow, like and retweet the announcement tweet for this giveaway. That'll be found right around the time that this video goes live on twitter.com/snapjudgecast. Cool? Next, reply in the comments on Twitter answering which Marvel Snap content creator would you like to see be a guest on the Snap Judgments podcast. You can just write their name, you can tag them, whatever makes you happy. Cool? We have a couple quick ways to get extra entries. They are any comment on a YouTube video for the next 2 weeks, basically up until the season pass releases, is an extra entry to win. Next, you get 2 extra entries for getting any friend to subscribe to the YouTube. All they have to do is comment on the YouTube that you sent them, who you are, and that you sent them. Cool. This is a great way to help give back to the channel, and in addition, get something awesome for yourself. I hope you enjoy the content. I think we provide a lot of value, and a lot of that value comes in the following 2 ways. First, we are a smaller channel. I actually talked about this with KM Best on the cast. If KM Best puts out a deck, and you should definitely look at and play his decks, right? But if he puts out a deck, you're not the only person who looked at and played at that. The whole ladder is filled with that deck. When he put out his Iron Patriot deck, as he was creating it, testing it for the very first time before the video, someone from his Twitch had already taken it and played it against him. His decks go everywhere. We do the work as a smaller channel to find you the best decks that not everyone is talking about. You know that stats.com deck, the one that KM Best and basically everyone else popularized? It was actually created by our friend Safety Blade, but whatever, the original version. We found that early when it had like a 70% win rate and crazy cube rate because no one knew what it was. The Stature Darkhawk thing. Cool. We found it a couple days before anyone else, and all you need is that couple days of no one knowing what the heck you're doing with something super powerful. One of our loyal listeners immediately went and hit infinite with that deck, just like that. That's the benefit you get for supporting smaller channels like us, like J-Hugs, like Savage Yeti, like Father Newman, etc. In addition, we also offer personalized help. We are on the Snap Fan Discord. We are their official podcast. Down at the bottom of their Discord, there is a Snap Judgments corner. Come join us. Hop in, hang with the hosts. I'm there, Roy's there, Lavin's there. We will help you get to infinite. We will give you advice. We will talk you off a ledge as best we can when you start tilting. It's a really awesome small community. I strongly urge you to check it out. All right, enough preamble. Hopefully I've sold you on this. It is time to talk about the Galactus deck. This deck doesn't look like it's doing anything special, right? Bonkers that this is so strong. But what it is extraordinarily consistent. Its playlines are very simple. You've got multiple ways to win, given that you have given that you have um, the Iron Lad combos and the Spider-Man combos and so on. So basically, you want to get your early plays out. On 3, you'd like to Electro. You'd like to Electro into Doc Ock, into Galactus, into Null. Right? That's the obvious play. That's how basically all Galactus decks work. If you don't see Null, you want to play Death on top of your Galactus lane. Simple, easy. If you see Wave, you want a Galactus and you want a Spider-Man, and then you can always drop Jeff on top of that to make sure you win. Again, really, really simple, really straightforward, good way to win games of Snap. Now, sometimes you're not going to see your Galactus, right? Well, that's what Iron Lad is for. Iron Lad is here to try and steal that extra bit of Galactus goodness. In addition with Iron Lad, once you have Galactus, he is a potential surprise Null, Spider-Man, or Doc Ock, which adds a ton of power. This is 100% the deck I was worried about happening. I thought Nimrod would be in it, but I want to take you, before I give you some more tips to play it, and look at the win rate. This is 1,200 games. I have no idea who made this. I've been trying to find out, and I haven't actually figured out. But a 58% win rate is about an A- win rate, with a 0.51, like an A+ average cube rate. Cool? Now, I've been talking to a bunch of friends about this, and a bunch of my friends hit Infinite with Galactus all the time. It's a fairly linear deck, and it's really powerful. It's super well positioned in the meta right now. A lot of these Iron Laddie decks that are running around don't really have great answers to Galactus, except for the Patriot one, which runs Debris. Most of the others are hoping to get you with a Polaris. So be a little careful with your Yondu, and you should be fine. But Safety Blade, again, he will be on the podcast next week. Amazing person. Maintains a 60% win rate with Galactus basically all the time. He has the following 3 tips. If you have a Galactus safe lane on 1, always play into the unknown. Great. Always ramp even without Galactus in hand, including Wave. And always snap when Galactus is in hand before the ramp. You might lose, but not doing this leads to basically 1 cube every time. So if you have Galactus in hand, you're going to see the ramp 86% of the time with this deck. 85, something like that. In the general percentage of the high 80s. That's the beauty of running America Chavez. You're likely to see that ramp, and since you are likely to see that ramp, if you have Galactus, snap. Playing into the unknown when you have a Galactus safe lane basically guarantees you have at least one place you can manage to play that Galactus, and you always ramp because ramping offers you the opportunity to snap, offers you the opportunity to play cards like Dr. Octopus, offers you the opportunity to hit Iron Lad and get lucky, and so on and so forth. All of these extra plays offer extremely high value. The only card in this deck that I'm not completely, well, I guess there's 2 that I'm not completely crazy about, but again, the stats speak for themselves. I don't urge you to cut either of these. All right, I don't love Yondu because Polaris is in a lot of decks, and I hate getting Yondu pulled into where I want to Galactus, but it's good enough with both Death and Null to be viable, and Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is here for one of my least favorite plays, or least favorite play orders, where you wave Galactus and then you don't have Spider-Man, so you Doc Ock. And at that point, they may have something big in that lane where Shang-Chi just wins you the lane. That's how you play this deck. It's super strong. Look, 1,000 games is a viable sample, no matter what you want to think. 1,200 games is a viable sample. 58 win percent, 0.51 average cubes. Try this Galactus. Enjoy. You're going to get the card nerfed by playing this deck, but hey, you do you. Like, you got to win the games you can, right? Okay. New viewers, we always do 2 decks. We have our headliner deck, and then we have another deck that I think is really cool, but I'm not quite as sold on as being completely meta, completely worth playing. This deck is created by Wender and Den over at Marvel Snap Zone. Hello to our cousins over at Marvel Snap Zone. I know I'm Snap fan affiliated, but we're friends with lots of Snap Zone people. There's no reason that you shouldn't support great content across the Marvel Snap spectrum. So Wender and Den have a kitty control deck. I know my friend the Jolly Roger has been tweeting about this deck left and right. He's in love. He also has various cool TikToks with this deck. I'll link both that and Den's article in the description below. So this deck is basically a kitty deck, right? That's fairly obvious. This deck's basic premise is last turn, if I can kitty often, last turn Kitty and Gamora are an extremely powerful combo. If I've got an 8-power Kitty and a 12-power Gamora, I've basically played Infinite without having to skip. Your other goal is to basically win a lane with Spider-Man. You can Spider-Man and Kitty on the same turn on 5 because Spider-Man is cost 1 below. Nice and simple again, right? We get how this works. Great. What else does this deck have to offer besides those core combos? And those are, don't doubt, the absolute core combos. Well, the other key cards are Zabu and Beast. You really, really, really want to make Kitty 1 cheaper. Playing her for 0 is amazingly better than playing her for 1. The other cards you might want to bounce are the Hood, the Demon when you have him. It's not a bad idea to bounce Viper if you do have the Hood and Sentry. You can always chuck 2 things at them. The other major card is Zabu. You can see that there are 3 4-cost cards. When they're 3, you have a ton of extra energy in this deck. That extra energy becomes cards like Jeff. And on the last turn of the game can become a card like Killmonger. Okay. You want to Viper the Hood. You want to Viper the Sentry's Demon. You want to Beast, Kitty, Hood, or Demon, or Sentry's Void. Sorry, I said Demon earlier. Sentry's Void. Cool. Those are the nice simple combos there. Why Killmonger? Because other kitty decks are a nightmare. Your other kitty decks that are often running 1,000 1-drops are going to be able to sometimes get the jump on you. One of the beautiful things about the Void is the Void does an absolutely phenomenal job of losing you initiative, losing you priority, excuse me. When you've lost priority, your Killmonger last turn kills their kitty, and you can play your kitty after it. If assuming you've got these 2 on the board, you can even Killmonger, Kitty, and Viper on that last turn, which is they would have expected that lane to be filled because of their 1-drops, and then it just suddenly isn't. This deck's stats right now aren't incredible, but if this deck isn't something yet, it sure is close. I urge you to try it. It plays super smooth. It's super fun. Especially if you're Infinite, this is absolutely a deck to try out. Again, I'm not sure if this deck is tier 1 yet, but I don't think it's far, or as far as you would think, due largely to the insane power of Kitty and the slept-on potential of Sentry. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, you can win one of 5 season passes. You can win a season pass and every Token Tuesday. The thing to do, the first step is to subscribe. See you tomorrow for another Snap Take. Be well, all.